Hi beauties, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm Jenny Beauty, and today I'm going to be doing a foundation review and demo on the Diorskin Forever Foundation. If you don't know anything about this foundation, it is a luxury brand foundation and it has had amazing reviews. So I kind of just wanted to test it out for myself and see what I thought personally. So if you'd like to hear my thoughts, please just keep on watching. Alright, so the first thing I want to say is this video was actually filmed a week later than the rest of the video. And the reason for that is somehow the first part of my video that I filmed last week went missing. So this is just going to kind of be like pieced together. It was kind of like a make it work moment. So I'm going to look different in the next clips, but that's why. So you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. But yeah, let me just get into the foundation. I'm gonna tell you the claims and then I'm going to apply it, and then we will go back in reverse a week and you will see what it looked like on my face. Basically, this is called the Diorskin Forever Perfect Foundation. It has a broad spectrum SPF of 35 and it is from Dior, obviously. It costs $52 for 1 ounce. So that is obviously a pretty pricey foundation. This is the most I've ever spent on a foundation, but I heard so many good claims on it that I just had to try it out. They have about 24 shades according to the Sephora website in the foundation, and I got the color 031, and it is too dark for me, but we will see that in the clip coming up whenever I apply it to my face. So let me just read the details. It said this is a medium coverage and it works on sensitive, normal, dry, combination, or oily skin. So I think that's pretty much got everybody covered, correct? And then it's got a matte finish, SPF of 35. It says it's the ultimate skin perfecting 16-hour foundation that delivers medium coverage and leaves a luminous matte finish. That kind of contradicts itself, luminous matte, so I'm assuming it's going to be kind of like a satin finish. But it says it is formulated to give perfect, flawless complexion, which is something I've heard it actually does. It helps minimize the appearance of pores, control shine, and blurs imperfections for a luminous matte finish that lasts up to 16 hours. This comfortable liquid foundation melts into the skin and provides SPF 35 protection. It is also the 2017 Allure Best of Beauty Award winner. So there we go. That's pretty much all about foundation. So now I'm just going to apply it to my face and you can see how it works. I'm going to apply a little bit of primer as I normally would. I'm using the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. And I will say last time I filmed this video, I applied foundation at 3 or 3:30. I can't remember exactly. But just keep that in mind because whenever I do the first check-in, I think I mentioned the time. So, and I don't know if I mentioned what time I put it on. So I believe it was 3 or 3:30. Alright, so now my primer is on, and last time I filmed this video, I did half of my face with a sponge and then half with a brush. But I already know that I much prefer the side with the sponge, so I'm just going to apply it with the sponge this time. And the reason for that is the brush just didn't give you as much of a flawless finish as the sponge did. And also, you would think there would be more coverage with the brush, but actually the sponge was better. So there you have it. Anyways, let's just get started applying it to the face. So to start out, I'm just going to take 2 pumps. I'm going to apply that evenly across the face. So as you can probably see, this is not my color. It's just too dark for me at this point in time. But this is the coverage after 2 pumps. And really, it's not that good. Like, you can still see this little pimple here, and you can still see unevenness and texture and things. So I definitely would not recommend just doing 2 pumps. Let me zoom in a little bit. See how you can just see all that uneven skin tone still. I'd say 2 pumps is just a light coverage. I wouldn't even call this medium yet. Alright, so I'm going to do another 2 pumps, and again I'm just going to apply it to the whole face. Alright, so here is 2 more pumps applied to my face. It's still not 100% my desired coverage, especially on this little bump here. You can still see it, but it's not bad. So let me zoom in. See how you can just still see that bump there. This side looks pretty good though. And I don't mind that my freckle still shows through, so. Alright, so I'm going to go in just with a little bit more. I think I might just do 1 pump this time, and I'm going to mainly focus it on this side since that's where my discoloration is mostly at. So here we are with 1 more pump. I'd say this is a pretty decent amount of coverage now. I'd be happy with it. You can tell there's a pimple there, but I don't think the coloration is really bad. And you can definitely see my pores right in here. Let me zoom you in one more time. So you can still see where that bump is, and then I don't know if you can see my pores here, but I have a pretty big enlarged one right there. Or it's some kind of scar, I guess, but otherwise it looks pretty good. Alright, so I promise you, I know this color looks a little crazy, but in the next check-in, it's going to look a lot better. Concealer helps out a ton, and it just helps like bring it all together. So yeah, like I said, it was filmed last week, so if the transition to the next part of the video is a little off, it's just because I don't remember exactly how I transitioned. So yeah, alright, so now I'm just going to transition us right into the next part of the video. Alright guys, welcome back. It is currently 6:26, so it is about a good 3 to 3.5 hours since I have applied the foundation, so I thought I'd go ahead and do a check-in before I head out for the night. So let's just take a look. Alright, so first off, I still think this side overall looks better than this side where I use the brush. My forehead is still doing good, no creasing on the forehead. The smile lines still have a little bit of creasing, but it's not like bad. Around my nose still looks pretty good. On this side I'm getting a little bit of like build up around the nose, but nothing too bad. It's better than it usually is. The chin still looks about the same. It's just got a little bit of clinging in there as well. But otherwise, I mean, it seems to be holding up pretty well. I definitely feel like my oils are kind of starting to come through, and also these lights are really like bright, so it makes me look a little more shiny than I actually am. In reality, I wouldn't say that I'm like that shiny at all, whereas in the viewfinder at least it looks like I'm super greasy up here. It's not. So yeah, that's 3-hour check-in, 3 to 3.5 hour check-in. Still holding up, still going pretty strong. It looks pretty much the same as when I applied it, really. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and zoom you in real quick so you can see what it looks like up close. So I don't know if you can see, it's just getting a little cakey around the nose, just a little bit. And down here on the chin, it's kind of in my lines, but the forehead looks pretty good. Smile lines are kind of being sunk in. But yeah, I mean, so far it looks really nice. I like the way it looks still, and it's not too greasy, so. Alright guys, so it is now the next day. Sorry I didn't make it back last night in time to do an update. I figured the next day would be fine, plus the lighting's better in the daytime anyways. So yeah, I just wanted to come back and let you know kind of how it all worked out last night and what it looked like, and my final thoughts and opinions on the Diorskin Forever Foundation. Okay, so let me just start off by saying, like, last night my skin and my foundation and everything stayed on all night. We got home around like 12:30 and everything still looked really good. Not super greasy. I mean, I probably could have touched up a little bit, just like around my nose a little bit here and then on my forehead, but other than that it wasn't too bad. Like, I could have gotten away with wearing it for longer. And every time I looked in the mirror I just thought, oh my gosh, my skin just looks like so much better than it usually does. So I was excited about that. And then the cakiness or the clinging like around my nose and down here, it really didn't ever get any worse, which was nice. And then the smile lines and forehead lines didn't really get worse either, so that was good. So anyways, I guess I would say let's go with the cons first of the foundation. So obviously the first con is that it costs $52. That is expensive, but it's also Dior, so it's to be expected. It is a luxury brand, so $52 for a luxury brand really isn't like too crazy considering high-end brands like Tarte and Urban Decay and stuff like that. They're going to charge you anywhere from $35 to $45. So it's really not that much more than a high-end brand would be. As I said, there's about 25 shades online. I don't think that's the best shade range, but I also don't think it's the worst. I think there's just been brands coming out lately with so many shades that it makes 25 seem not that great, but really it's not like awful. I will say I did have a little trouble picking out my shade online. I'm not like too far off, but I'm definitely not my color. So just keep that in mind. I would pick it up in the store. I guess another con would be, for me at least, this foundation isn't quite as full coverage as I was hoping just right off the bat. You do have to build it up quite a bit in order to get the coverage that I desire, because my skin is not perfect. I still have acne scarring and things. So in order to get the coverage that I like, I have to layer it up about 3 times. So, but once I get it on and I see how it looks with the rest of my makeup done, it really is like a good full coverage foundation. And it looks so beautiful. So I think that's probably all the cons I have for the foundation. Really, I mean, it's a nice foundation. It's super nice. So let me just talk about the pros real quick. So the first pro is this packaging. I mean, it is luxurious. It's heavy. It's got like a nice frosted bottle. It's got your logos and everything on here, and it's got a pump, which it should, but sometimes they don't. So yeah, I mean, this packaging is absolutely gorgeous. The next con would be my skin looks better with this foundation than any other foundation I've ever worn. You do have to build it up, as I said before, but I mean, just looking at myself in the viewfinder and in the mirror, I'm like, dang, my skin looks really good. So that's really awesome. I mean, the fact that it doesn't cling around my nose too bad is huge for me, because a lot of times it'll get really bad. And then like a lot of times if I get really close up to my skin, I can just see like the texture of the foundation, and this really just looks like it like melts into the skin, and it looks so skin-like and just flawless, and it's smooth, and it does blur your pores out somewhat. Not totally, but it does really make them look smaller and less visible. And the finish of it is gorgeous. I mean, it's not like drying out. It doesn't dry me out. It's not too matte, but it's not too dewy to where I look like a grease ball all day, especially when I actually have my oils start to come through. So honestly, I think this foundation could work for a wide variety of people. I will say, if you do have like enlarged pimples and things like that, it would be hard to cover with this foundation. You definitely have to put on some concealer underneath, I would assume. But other than that, I mean, it's a really, really nice foundation. So I guess my overall verdict would be that I do love it. I mean, it's probably one of the best foundations that I've ever worn. But for the price, I don't know, because typically my go-to foundation is the L'Oreal Pro Glow, and it's beautiful. I love it. I mean, it does have a lot more texture than this, but it works and it looks nice. Now this just looks flawless. So I would say, I guess I would definitely keep this, and I would buy it if you have the money, but just use it sparingly, because you have to use a lot when you use it, and it's expensive. So you don't want to use it up too quickly. Like, I wouldn't wear it every single day just for like going out to, I don't know, let's say going out to lunch and then coming home. Like, I definitely wouldn't waste it on that. But if you're going out and you're going to be out all day and you want to look really nice and have flawless skin for an event or something, I would totally wear this. So yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me do one more close-up, I guess, before we go out, just so you can see. I reapplied it this morning, obviously, but I just want to show you again what it looks like, because I did use my professional primer today. So let's see if it made any difference. I don't really think it did, but this side does look better than it did yesterday, to me at least, because I applied it with the sponge. Oh, and one more thing I forgot to mention. Everything that I put on top of it layers on super nicely, and it stayed on all night as well, so it didn't like rub off through the night or anything like that. And also, last night on the way to dinner, my husband was like, let's watch this video, it's got a really good story to it. I shared it on my Facebook, pull it up and watch it. So I pulled it up, not knowing what to expect. He said it was like a life story, I guess. And so basically somebody ends up dying, and I started crying on the way to dinner, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna do my foundation test when I'm crying? So I turned off the video and I opened the mirror, and I just like tapped away my tears, and it looked amazing. I was like, oh my gosh, I can cry with this on, it still looks fine. So that's something else that I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this one. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss videos in the future. And let me know what you thought of this foundation if you have tried it. I'd be eager to hear your thoughts, as well as anybody else who looks in the comments. I'm sure they would love to know your thoughts as well, because you probably have different skin than mine. So yeah, anyways, thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!